Organizations are increasingly utilizing a contract talent strategy to solve their workforce needs for a host of reasons, including cost, scalability, flexibility, and time to efficiency. In a recent HCI webcast, Kelly Coleman of Home Depot and Master Burnett of Dr. John Sullivan and Associates highlighted a concept previously unexplored. How can organizations ensure that contract talent quality meets or exceeds what is needed?
My name is Kelly Coleman. I manage the contingent workforce program at the Home Depot, as well as a few other programs. Amy did mention that. But wanted to give you a little bit of history about our contingent workforce program at the Home Depot. And I'm starting off back in 2005. Prior to 2005, we had zero governance, zero visibility, minimal contracts in place for our overall program. We knew we were spending a boatload of money, but we didn't know how it was actually being spent. So this problem statement right here, and this was enterprise-wide, excuse me, we knew of 160 vendors just kind of based on invoices that were coming in, but there was no control governance, no established metrics in place, and we weren't actually leveraging us, Home Depot, as far as our buying abilities, because we're actually a large company. You guys mostly know about Home Depot, so we weren't using that leverage to kind of lower our cost as it was associated with our contingent labor program. I come from the staffing industry myself, so I've been on the other side of the table. If I had to do this particular type of program again, I would actually kind of reverse the order that we actually kind of handled our problems. We started off with a vendor consolidation. And don't look at the green square. I know it's very difficult to take your eyes off that down at the bottom of the page. But savings, actually, that gets everybody's attention. It drew your eye right down at the bottom. But in your executive support, that's what they're all going to look at as well. But going back up to the top, we wanted to run an RFP. We ran a vendor consolidation to actually get to that green square because the dollars and cents, that's what everybody looks for immediately. And then we added a vendor management system. I'll discuss that in just a moment. But I would actually do it in reverse order if we had to do it all over again. You're able to get more metrics on those vendors involved and who is actually providing the quality of service when you're doing the vendor consolidation. But when you're talking dollars and cents, it's difficult from the executive level to actually not want to get that cost savings right from the get-go. I'll be honest, I looked at every system out there, and this was back in 06, 07. We're still utilizing the same system. We issued, solicited key information regarding implementation, training, customer maintenance on that VMS. Also, any program management, overseeing the aspects of the process life cycle. When we started the RFP selection, we actually didn't know what we wanted. We didn't know if we wanted an MSP involved. We didn't know how our master vendors that we had selected, how their involvement was going to be. We didn't know if we just wanted a tool, an automation. So going into it, we're pretty flexible as far as an open, as far as the processes that or process automation that a VMS can bring to the table. And with that said, we invited a variety of different tools as well as MSPs to provide information in that RFP. So that's kind of a little history on where we are today. And as it relates to, quality of contingent labor, kind of what I'm bringing to the table in this particular call is what the VMS can provide. And as far as some of the details on there that we didn't have before, vendor performance, we didn't have any of this information prior to a vendor management system. It was all kind of word of mouth. There was no visibility from a corporate perspective at all, none. As far as how our vendors were performing, it was only an invoice of, hey, somebody actually placed somebody somewhere, and okay, you're having to pay for it now. So it was all just invoicing. But we can actually get performance on, orders received, number of workers, And this is actually related to kind of measuring the quality of your contingent labor. So if one particular vendor receives a number of orders, a huge amount of orders over another vendor, that tells us that they're actually providing quality service to that particular hiring manager. So that's something that we can evaluate there. Then the number of workers required to complete that assignment. If it's a 6-month assignment and 2 workers are required, that's not too bad. But if it's a 2-day assignment and 2 workers are required, that's not too good either. That tells me that they're not quite able to provide the workers required for that particular assignment, and so their quality kind of goes out the door on that particular assignment. So that's another way to actually measure. As far as hours on assignment per worker, and it kind of goes again as far as the actual assignment length as well. But if one vendor's or a vendor is providing workers that their workers are completing the assignment or working longer hours, that tells us that the actual workers that vendor is providing is top-notch, high quality. Anybody else as far as the other hours, it just gives you a measurement of how they are actually performing. And then the number of workers hired from contingent to full-time, temp to perm. If one vendor is actually hitting it out of the park as far as providing temp to perm individuals, that gives us that's a star right there for that particular vendor as far as measuring that particular quality. And then the specific analysis for the workforce. Assignments completed. If one worker is actually completes assignment after assignment after assignment, and they're actually coming back for multiple assignments, both of those measure that specific quality of worker. That's kind of a no-brainer in that particular part. But the hours on the assignment as well, all 3 of those kind of go hand in hand. If we are keeping that particular worker on assignment for the duration of the assignment, and right today in today's economy, there's a lot of workers out there. So as far as contingent, they may have come off of a permanent position, but they're staying on assignment. But maybe they were staying on assignment for 6 months out of that particular piece and went on a permanent position. We can't take that piece away from them. But the hours on that particular assignment is a great way to measure the quality of that individual. And then it's something that we don't use here at Home Depot, the end of assignment evaluations, because it's kind of a fine line as far as the co-employment issues. We're a government contractor, so we get audited, and we have to be very careful about that piece. But if you're a smaller company, mid-sized firm, end of assignment evaluations are a great way to actually get true evaluation or true measurement of the quality of that individual worker.